Bubble. Oh, Winnie, say hi, everybody. Hi. Yeah, you see Mom coming into work, huh? And you just get comfortable, don't you, every time? Ah, there we go. Come here, Willow. Come here. Come on. Come on. Oh, it's the Willow girl. Hi, beautiful girl. Hi. Yes. Say hi to everybody. This is Willow. Oh, yes, I love you. She is fully grown. She is a mini medium golden doodle, and she just the cutest stinking thing. Look at her. Hi, Kayla. Hey. Yeah, she's not interested. Oh, look at that face. Yeah. And I tell you, she lives up to her size and her name. She is a ball of energy. She has given us a run for our money, but she's keeping us on our toes, so that's probably what we need. Oh yes, I love you. Thank you. Okay, bye. That was Willow, everybody. Oh, hello. I'm back. Again, I'm gonna give this a try again, and I'm gonna put forth every effort to work just a bit more and get back to life. How are you doing today? Do you feel like doing a little bit of old DIYing with me? Well, come on in. Let's get started. Going on for you for today? Well, it's Thursday, which is a good excuse to do a Throwback Thursday. But not just any Throwback Thursday. I want to do a blast from the past of DIYs that you can do using a regular bath towel. Who knew that there were so many fun things that you can do with them that are quick, easy, budget friendly? Some are no so, some maybe so, some you can do no so or so. You choose. But these make for great gift ideas. These are DIYs that I've been doing for several years, and this blast from the past is going back 7 years ago. Some of my first DIYs that I ever uploaded. This first one, it's a fan favorite, so I'm gonna quit my gabbing. Let's jump into it, and let's see this blast from the past on this Throwback Thursday. So bear with me on this DIY because I promise you it's worth the work. Today I'll be using this bath towel by Mainstays. It's a 27 by 50 inch towel. This size works the best. This is one that I had on hand already because this bag is going to be for Allison. Now, these towels are the best to use that actually have this decorative ridge, I guess, on them. You're gonna take and cut right along this upper edge here with some scissors. You wanna leave the decorative edge on the towel itself. We're just gonna cut this one strip off, and we're gonna do that on both ends of the towel. So you'll be left with two pieces like this that we're just gonna fold in half long ways. Now, using some of this Heat and Bond, this is a hem adhesive. This pack is amazing because it's a value pack, and it comes with 3 different sizes, or is it? Yeah, 2 or 3 different sizes, which is great because you're gonna need both sizes unless you wanna cut. Now, going along this top edge here, this is actually the top seam of the towel. I'm gonna place a strip of this hem adhesive. I guess that's just what I'll stick with calling it, the full length of the towel. The iron that I'll be using today is this iron by Steamfast. This is a compact mini iron that I found at Walmart in the fabric section, and I wanna say I paid $10 for it. It is really great for crafts because of how small it is, and I've been loving it. I'm gonna go ahead and fold the towel back over the hem adhesive, and I'm gonna press it using my Steam Fresh. Now, if you wanna use the steam on the iron, it's fine. It's just gonna heat it up a bit more. And in this instance, I would definitely suggest doing that because the towel is on the thicker side, so you really want that heat to go through the towel and melt that adhesive so your pieces stick together. You're gonna do this to both strips of towel that you cut from the top of the towel and the bottom of the towel. And just to show you, you can really see here how well that hem adhesive works. And this here is what you should be left with, are these 2 strips here. Now taking this coordinating pink fabric, this is one that I've had in my stash that I had decorated Allie's room with previously. It matches perfectly with the pink towel. I'm gonna take a piece, and it's gonna be just a bit longer and a bit bigger than the towel strips that we just cut, because we're going to cover these towel strips with this fabric. And to do that, I'm gonna take and just fold the fabric in half with the right sides facing each other. I'm gonna place my towel strip on top using it as a template. There's no need for perfection when you're doing this. You don't need to measure, you don't need your cuts to be perfect, but when cutting it, you do wanna leave about 1 inch of fabric on each end, and then you wanna cut about 3/4 of an inch or the width of your tape away from the towel, which in my case is just about 1/2 inch away from my towel. Then we're gonna go ahead and hem this piece too. And again, if I wasn't clear, you wanna do 2 of these because we're gonna cover both of the towel strips, which are going to be straps. And so you're gonna wanna put your fabric hem adhesive on the right side of your fabric on the edge there. Then you're just gonna go ahead and fold your fabric over it and iron over it, and it's gonna give you a nice clean hem. I'm gonna turn these right side in, and here, just as easy as that, we made a sleeve for those towel strips. Isn't that easy? And it really only took just a few minutes to do. Once you've got that sleeve right side out, you're gonna see the hem or the seam line. You want that in the middle. You don't want it to be off to one side or the other. And so I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna run over this with the iron again, just to really keep things neat and in place. For this next step, to feed the towel through the sleeve, I will be using a larger safety pin just by placing it on the end of my towel and placing it inside of the sleeve. It makes it a lot easier just to feed the towel through the sleeve. And so I'm gonna do that with both pieces of towel. And so, like I said, this is a sleeve covering up the towel. The towel really is just kind of meant to give this handle some substance, to make it a bit thicker and sturdier, I guess, if you will. And so the fabric is just to decorate it and cover up the fact, I guess, that it's a towel that we're using. And again, you're just gonna wanna go back over these with your iron just to kind of smooth everything out. And look at that, we've just covered up those towel strips with this adorable fabric, and look at how nice that looks. On the ends of these straps, I want to give them a finished look, and so to do that, I'm going to use the smaller hem adhesive. I'm going to place a piece in between the 2 fabrics and one here on top. And then I'm just going to simply fold it over and iron it. Now you'll see that the good side of my strap is facing up and the side that has the hem in the middle is down. You want to make sure and do it this way because I'm promising you it's going to give you a better outcome in the end. You're not going to see the seams or the hem that we're doing on each of the ends of this strap. And you're going to want to do this to all 4 ends. Now taking an embroidery needle and some embroidery thread, I'm using white. This step is completely optional. You can skip it altogether, or you could use your sewing machine if you wanted to. I thought it would be fun just to add some of this thicker thread and give it that stitched look. Now, this is nothing fancy. This is just a loose stitch, and it's gonna take me maybe 10 or 15 minutes to do both strips. And I'm just gonna do the outside edges on both strips. Now look how fun that is. It's not perfect, it doesn't need to be. Now I'm gonna take and just run another stitch along this side as well, and I'm gonna do that to both straps, strips, whatever I'm calling them. I keep switching it up. Moving on to the towel, on this upper decorative edge here, we're gonna fold this over and just kind of folding it in half, I guess, if you will. And again, taking the iron, this is such a repetitive project. I'm gonna iron this just to kind of help keep this fold down, because once I've got it ironed on both ends, we're gonna do this to both decorative edges. I'm gonna take my hem adhesive and I'm gonna place it in between, sandwiching it there, and I'm gonna iron this down just to give me a nice clean edge. For this next step, I will be using more of that pink coordinating fabric, and you're gonna need a piece in the measurements of 13 wide by 22 inches long. And using the thinner hem adhesive, I'm gonna fold the fabric in half long ways. And so that way it's 13 wide by 11 long, and I'm going to hem 2 of the sides, and I'm gonna leave the top open. I'm gonna flip it right side out. Now I will tell you this is going to be a pocket, but the fabric itself is not going to be the pocket where we're using both sides of the fabric. I'm making this pocket 2 layers thick, and so to do that, I wanted to kind of hem it together the way I did here. Once I've got the sides hemmed together, I'm gonna go ahead and clean up that bottom edge and close it up just by folding in those top edges, ironing it, and placing just a bit of that hem adhesive right along in there to close this up. Now all that's left to do is to put this together. So now we've got the towel here. You're gonna wanna fold the towel in half so the hem at the top is on the inside of the bag. Once it's folded in half, we're gonna go ahead and just place this pink pocket in the center of the towel. Now remember, like I said, the towel is folded in half. I'm just gonna eyeball it, and for the pocket, I'm gonna use the thicker hem adhesive, and I'm just gonna hem it on 3 sides, leaving the top open. And look at there, we've got a pocket and it's thicker using the double layers of fabric versus just 1 layer. Now, I wanted to add a picture to this like I have with all the other bags, so to do that, I'm gonna use this fusible cotton fabric. These are sheets that you can print on. I went ahead and printed with my inkjet printer on them, cut it out. I decided just to leave a bit of a border, and it really is just as easy as after you print it out and cut it to size, you just run your iron over it, and it adheres to whatever surface it is that you're applying it to. These fusible fabric sheets you can find at Hobby Lobby, Joann's, Michael's, and they probably run about $20 for 10 sheets, but you're allowed to use a 40 or 50% off coupon, and a lot of times when I see that there's a 60% out coupon, which is only a couple times a year, I'll use it for that, and so there I'm only spending like $7 for 10 sheets. I decided to go ahead and just go a step further and add some of the embroidery thread to the pocket too, just to kind of tie it in with the straps that I had done. Now don't fold your towel in half for this part because you don't want to sew your 2 halves together. So when you're doing this, you kind of want to make sure that your towel is open. And I'm just going to run this embroidery thread down 3 sides. I found the easiest way to add the straps is to fold your towel in half and then just take this top part and fold it down. Then take your strap, the good side is up, we're going to flip it over, and then we're just gonna place our straps where we want them to be, spacing them out however far you wanna space them. I'm gonna use hot glue for this. I'm using a Gorilla hot glue. It's gonna adhere perfectly to the towel, the fabric to towel. It's not gonna come off. And if you wash this, I would just wash it on cool and just kind of hang it to dry. You don't want to dry it anyway. If there's a picture on there, you're gonna just wanna let it hang dry. And so again, I'm just gonna use hot glue, place each of the ends spaced out where I want them to be. Now I'm gonna leave the towel the way it is so that way I can easily place the second set of straps here to the other side without having to measure, just by eyeballing it and kind of lining it up with the existing strap that I just placed. I'm gonna close up the sides of this bag, and to do that I'm gonna fold the bag back right side in, and I'm gonna line up the sides of the towel evenly, and using my thicker hem adhesive, I'm gonna place that right along both sides of the towel and just iron it and close up those sides. Now again, this is one of those DIYs that you can do sewing. I have used my sewing machine every other time other than this one, and so honestly this is only the second towel that I've done using this hem adhesive, and the first one was just the trial to see how easy it would be, if it could be done, if it would hold it together good. And because it did, that's why I guess I'm bringing you this DIY. And so definitely, if you want to sew it, you could totally do that and it's gonna work just as great. But this hem adhesive is awesome for those who don't own a sewing machine or don't like sewing and like those no-sew projects. This is one that you can definitely do it with, and the outcome is awesome. So again, when you're going over these sides, you really want to make sure and use the steam, because the towel is thicker and you really want that heat to get into the towels to melt that adhesive, because that's what's going to really hold everything together nicely. Now let's flip our bag right side out, and you're about to see just how stinking cute this is. This is just the coolest stinking bag ever. They really are easy to make, and if you just follow along with this tutorial, you'll be amazed at how easy it is to do. And really, it might take a little bit of time, but we all have nothing but time on our hands. I mean, we're stuck at home with nothing to do, so let's make some cool projects, and I'm sure you've got a towel somewhere that you can experiment with. I like to finish this bag off by giving it more of a finished look around the inside edge there. And so to do that, I'm gonna take just more of the coordinating fabric. I'm gonna cut it just about 1.5 inches to 2 inches, fold it in half and just kind of iron it. Use the hem adhesive to really make it look neat. And I'm just gonna hot glue it around the inside edge here. I'm using hot glue because I feel like it's just a lot of thick layers to use that hem adhesive. And as long as you're not drying this towel, which you can't do if you put a picture on it anyway, it's gonna hold up just fine. And kind of a trick of the trade is if a piece seems to be coming up where the hot glue was, if you just run your iron over it, it'll remelt the hot glue and it'll, I guess, re-adhere it onto whatever. But with these towels, you really don't have to worry about it. It's been a couple of months since I've made it, and since it was quarantine time, I thought that this was a perfect DIY to bring to you, because so many of us probably have a towel in our stash already. And if you don't, on one of your trips to Walmart to getting groceries, you could always pick one up along with a back quarter. Look at how pretty and finished that looks. Now, if you want to add some Velcro to the top of this or even some snaps, you can. I've done that before. And there we have it, a very simple to do, fun, easy, stinking adorable bag made out of a DIY towel. This is a bag that Kayla had when she was maybe 7 years old, and she's 20 now, and it's held up perfectly. These are such great bags to make. They're easy and they make for a great gift to give. This next DIY, gonna be completely honest with you, I got a lot of heat for this one. The subscribers in the comment section of my video really came after me because I was doing a DIY decorative towel. And they were towels that I didn't use, and a lot of people just didn't see the purpose of them. So I will tell you now that, oh, hi, Biza. Hi, handsome boy. It's Ray's dog, everybody. Hi, you just want to come say hi and let everybody see the back of your head and not the front? Yeah, you're a big boy, huh? You're a whopping 75 pounds, big boy. Your dad would be proud, huh? Are you a happy boy? Okay. Okay, I gotta work. You're down. Lay down. So growing up, my mom was really into decorating and making our house a home in the way that she could do it, given the money and the budget that we had. We didn't have a lot of money growing up. And so my mom did with what she had, and she did the best that she could. And she really was into decorating and DIYing stuff. And the decorating didn't just stop in the kitchen and the living room and the bedrooms. Oh no, it spilled over into the bathrooms. And my mom would make these beautiful decorative towels that she would put out on the towel racks, and we didn't use them because it was a decorative piece. And my mom was also a very clean person, and so when we showered and whatnot, we didn't leave our towels in the bathrooms. We had hooks on the back of our bedroom doors, so once we would shower, we'd take our towels with us and hang them up on the back of our doors because my mom didn't want the mess in the bathroom. But I grew up with decorative towels being hung on the towel rack. And when we would wash our hands and dry them off, my mom had a stack of inexpensive washcloths that she probably got from the 99-cent store that she would leave on the sink, and we would use it and then put it in the basket next to the sink, and she would rewash them and reuse them. And we were just never a family that reused hand towels when somebody else had used it. I don't know if that's different or weird to some, but that was just how I was raised. And so I've always had decorative towels in my bathrooms as a decoration piece that we didn't use. And so this is how I do them, and I think that they're great if you don't need the towel rack and you want to add a bit of decoration to your bathroom. This is a really great way to do it. Let me show you.
For this DIY, you'll need either a hand towel or a bath towel. I'll be using this fat quarter that I picked up from Joann's, some brown ribbon, and I'll also be using this Heat Bond No-Sew hem. This comes in several different strengths. I'll be using the super strength for this DIY. I like this brand of towels by Charisma. This is sold at Costco. This is a 4-pack that comes with 2 hand towels and 2 washcloths. I typically pick up my hand towels, washcloths, and bath towels from Costco once a year right around Mother's Day when they're on sale. You can get this pack for $6.99 in May. For this tutorial, I'll be using a hand towel, and I'm going to start off by ironing my towel because I want it wrinkled free, and we really do need it as flat and straight as we can get it. You also want to make sure that your fabric, in my case it's a fat quarter, is good and ironed as well. Once it's ironed, I'm going to flip it over to the wrong side of the fabric. And using my iron, I'm just going to eyeball about a 1/4 inch to a 1/2 inch hem right along the long edge of my fabric. Once you've got your nice straight edge and your hem ironed over, I'm going to take my towel and I'm going to place my hem face up, which is the right side of the fabric up, onto the front of my towel. Placement of my fabric is going to be just about 1.5 inches above this decorative strip that comes on the towels. Using the Heat Bond No-Sew Super Strength Adhesive Tape, I'm going to place a strip of this in between my fabric and the towel. Then just simply take your iron on high and slowly go over your fabric. And this is going to melt that adhesive. It says not to use steam. I've never seen a problem using steam if you forget to turn the steam off on your iron. Either or, the outcome turns out the same in my book. And you can see that my fabric is glued to my towel. Then I'm going to take and flip over my towel and my fabric onto the wrong side, and I'm going to cut off my excess fabric. I'm going to leave myself about 3 inches of fabric to finish this towel off with. And I'm going to set aside this excess fabric because this is just enough fabric to do another hand towel, giving you a set of decorative hand towels. You'll want to make sure and cut off any of the tags on your towel as well. On each side of my towel, there is excess fabric. I'm just going to fold that over to the back of my towel, and using my Heat Bond tape, I'm going to measure it out, just a rough measurement of how much tape I'm going to need to adhere this fabric onto the back of this towel. Placing my Heat Bond on all 3 edges. Then I'm going to place the Heat Bond under the fabric on top of the towel, then run my iron over the top of the fabric. I'm going to do this on both sides. With the excess fabric here, I'm going to fold in my corners here, and this is going to help give me a nice cleaner edge on the other side of this towel. I'm going to iron this and place Heat Bond in it just to keep it so it stays down, gives us a nice finished look. I'm then going to place a strip of the heat bond right on the edge of the towel here, and a strip on the top of the fabric here. So I've got heat bond on the top and the bottom edge here. I'm going to fold my fabric over and again run my iron over the top of my fabric, adhering this fabric to the back of this towel. And to add just a bit of a decorative touch to the front of this towel, I'll be using this brown satin ribbon. I'm going to place this right across the width of my towel, and I'm going to place it about 1.5 inches down from the top of the fabric, and I'm going to cut it about 1/2 inch longer than the towel on each side. To adhere the ribbon on, I will be using heat bond again, so I'm going to measure out how long I need my heat bond to be. Then I'm going to fold my heat bond in half and fold it in half again, then cut up the center of it, giving us a thinner piece of heat bond. I'm going to place my heat bond where I want my ribbon, and by placing the heat bond first, it makes it just a bit easier. Then I'm going to place my ribbon right on top of it. Then take my iron and gently go over the top of my ribbon. When working with the iron and the ribbon, sometimes the ribbon will stick to the iron, so you want to go real gently and you want to go a bit lighter. Don't press too hard because it can melt your ribbon. Then I'm going to flip my towel over and I'm going to heat bond my ribbon edges to the back as well. Once I've got my ribbon edges nice and tidied up, I'm going to fold my towel as if I'm going to hang it. And I'm going to take my iron and go over this just to kind of help keep it in place. By folding my towel, it makes it easier to place the next piece of ribbon that I'm placing, which is just going to add to the decorative feature of the front of this towel. Because this is a no-sew towel, I want the end of this ribbon to be nice and straight. So I'm going to take a piece of my heat bond and I'm going to place it on the end of my ribbon, and I'm going to fold it over, and again I'm going to iron it. And this is going to give me a nice unfrayed edge to my ribbon. And again, I'll be placing some heat bond where I want to place this ribbon, then placing my ribbon on top and ironing it. And we can't forget to tuck in that tail of the ribbon here on the back. And I figured I'd finish the front of this towel off with one of my easy to do satin bows. If you have not seen that video on how I make my simple to do bows, I will link that video in the description box below. And because this is a decorative towel, I will be using just a bit of hot glue to hot glue this bow onto the front of this towel. These are towels that seldomly, if ever, get washed by me. If they accumulate a bit of dust, I use the brush end of my vacuum and just brush them and vacuum them off. I like to call decor pieces like these decorative towels that finishing touch, fine-tuning to a room that just kind of ties everything in the room together. And what's great about these towels is you're not paying an arm and a leg for them. You can make these for under $5.
Now this last DIY, I want to say is almost, oh, he is back. Look at him. He just, yeah, he's my boy. This last DIY, I want to say, is somewhat cringe-worthy, but I appreciate it for what it is because it was one of my first DIYs. It was when I started filming for YouTube, and I was making do with what I had. This was my craft table. This was the area in the central living area, I guess you could say, of the house that I filmed and I created. The lighting is horrible. The camera angle is even worse. But you know what? I can appreciate it because I see it and I look and see how far I've come. And it was a learning experience, and it was merely a stepping stone to get me to where I've gotten today here on YouTube with all of you amazing subscribers. Nonetheless, this is still a really great DIY if you can get through the cringe-worthy filming and footage, because it's one that I still make and gift to this day around summertime because it makes for a great swimsuit cover-up. Let me show you. But today's video is going to be a bathrobe wraparound. Okay, so what are you gonna need for this project? You're gonna need a good quality towel. You're gonna need some ribbon. You're gonna need a 5-inch piece of Velcro, some elastic, 1-inch thick elastic that actually measures around your chest. Okay, so let's get started showing you what you need to do with this. Where the lines are in the towel at the edge, the decorative lines, you are going to want to put your ribbon. I don't measure. I'm not a good measurer all the time. I do it with paper crafts, and I do it with quilting, but when it comes to stuff like this, I'm not like, I just don't go through the hassle of measuring it. You're gonna take your edge and you're gonna fold it in. And you want a pocket that's gonna be big enough to fit your 1-inch elastic. And when you're folding this in, you wanna take that excess ribbon that you have and you wanna fold it in, so when you sew it down, it leaves a nice, pretty, finished edge. So when you sew this, you are not gonna sew across here because you need to keep that flap open. So just take and go straight down. Do not go across. Leave that open so we can push our elastic through. Now what we're gonna do, see, you've got your pocket and you've got the sleeve there, the pocket sleeve, and you've sewn it across. So now what we're gonna do is we are going to take our elastic and our 2 big safety pins, and we are gonna put a safety pin at one end of the elastic, and we are going to attach it to one side of the hole. You're gonna take your other safety pin, put it on the other end, and now we are ready to just feed it through the towel. Take off your safety pin and you are going to hold it tightly and you are going to pin the elastic. You want to pin it in so you can sew it. And go ahead and do that to the other side as well. Do a quick stitch right along the opening of the pocket on each end to secure your elastic. There you have it. And now it is time to put the Velcro on. On the Velcro, you want to make sure when you're putting it on that you actually kind of close, take the inside and then like you're wrapping it around you and close it. So you put the Velcro on the right sides in there. So you're gonna set your Velcro in there and then that's how you're gonna separate it and then put it on. Your one piece of Velcro. So now what's left to do is this last end of ribbon that's sticking out. And so what I do with this is I take the ribbon and I fold it in half and then I fold it down. Just like this. And I just stitch across right here. Just do one stitch, one line across, and that's how I finish this off. there you have it. It's folded over and finished. It's got a nice clean finish on it on the underneath side and on the front. If you want this to be it, this can be it. Or you can even put a bow right here with this same ribbon. Okay, so I went ahead and added the bow on with some fabric glue to cover up the stitching underneath it, just to kind of finish it off. And you know what? I love these. How cute is that? And that there is what you can do with bath towels. How fun is that? Quick, easy, budget friendly, and they make for great gifts to give. I hope you all enjoyed these 3 DIY towel ideas. Yeah, sure, we'll go with that. If you're looking for more inspiration, DIY inspiration, well, guess what? I've got you covered. You can click on the video right over here and it'll take you to some of my past favorites. Until next time, everybody, I hope you have a fantastic day. Happy crafting on a budget. Stay happy, stay safe, stay healthy, but most of all, you know what I'm gonna say. Stay positive, please. It's a hard one, but I sure as heck am trying. Bye for now, everybody. Bisa, you just had to be right there, didn't you? Say hi, everybody. I'm a big boy. Bye.